recording real quick. Let me do that. So we're gonna take a look at Minecraft Education Edition from an introductory lens, and with the eventual goal of teeing you up to learn more about Minecraft, to use it in kind of an esports capacity. Weekly we are having our educational streams focused on different titles. Alyssa thankfully covered Rocket League last week. This week we're covering Minecraft Education Edition, and next week we'll be doing some coverage on League of Legends. So we'll continue to be working on different esports titles, and each time that we meet, we'll kind of progress a little bit further in terms of what we cover. So naturally, for our first Minecraft Education Edition stream, we're going to start with the basics. And so to start with the basics, the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into play, and we're going to go into view my worlds, and I'm just going to create a brand new world here, because what I want to do is I want to show you all Minecraft at its core. Minecraft in its most simplest version. And while we wait, and everyone, I apologize because okay, perfect. We got a message. Josh from Bytespeed saying hi. Hope you're all staying warm. That's awesome. Thanks for stopping in, Josh. You are experiencing my first time streaming on Twitch. I thankfully had Alyssa help us out last week, but I'm running solo. So really appreciate you stopping by and saying hi. Okay, so we've loaded into our world. We've got Minecraft running, right? And so I'm sure most of you must have heard about Minecraft Education Edition, not necessarily Education Edition, but heard about Minecraft, whether through your students using it in the classroom, like you might already be using Minecraft in the classroom, or you hear your students talk about it, because it's probably, if not is, the most popular video game today. I can't even remember how many copies it sold. I see we've got Iron Spirit in the chat as well. So hey, thanks for stopping by. This is the Education Edition. So what I'm doing is, what we're about to see here with kind of this open flat world, it's applicable in kind of all of Minecraft Education Edition. So what we're going to be doing is kind of just checking out Minecraft at its core, right? So we want to learn about, what the objective is. And the funny thing is that there's not necessarily a specific objective in Minecraft, right? I can hop in and I can say, hey, I want to build a house. So I'm very quickly going to build a very basic house. So don't mind me as I do that, right? I'll leave space for a door. And I'll just it's going to be super basic. So if we have anyone that's watching that is, super awesome at Minecraft, I apologize. This isn't anything super fancy. But I just want to show off that it's really open-ended, right? So I'm kind of going into my inventory here. I'm grabbing some random objects, some random materials. Iron Spirit's laughing at me because of how basic my build is. That's okay. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to add some stairs, right? And we just have a very basic home. I'll put a roof over it. Bam. Super simple. Now, I'm in a flat world, and so the thing with Minecraft is that, if we're using it in the classroom, we could ask our students to grab a bunch of materials and say, hey, recreate recreate the pyramids of Giza, right? Like for like a history assignment, we can say, hey, just grab some materials and start building out the pyramids. Iron Spirit, you're asking if you can join. I would totally be okay with you joining, but unfortunately, the way that Minecraft Education Edition works is that you need to have the same tenant. So because right now I'm kind of on my my work tenant, if you were trying to join with a separate one, it wouldn't let you. And we're also going to be shifting through some different worlds. Am I a teacher? I am a teacher of sorts. I am a teacher, but I also teach teachers. So that's kind of what the point of this stream is we're taking some time to showcase what Minecraft is, so that other teachers feel comfortable with using it in the classroom. So if you're a big fan of Minecraft, for example, your teacher might want to know how to, if assuming you're a student, your teacher might want to know how they can use Minecraft in the classroom, and then that way you can play and you can also learn. So this isn't necessarily historically accurate, because I'm using oakwood planks to build pyramids, but I just want to showcase, like, hey, if you're a teacher, a super simple assignment could be, hey, if you're teaching history and you're learning about Egypt, you can have your students recreate the pyramids. But there's also things like electricity, like it's called redstone. There are like command blocks, and there are ways that you can code. So, for example, if I open Code Builder right now, you can see that I can use block-based coding. There's also Python and some other options as well. So yeah, it's really just the possibilities are pretty endless. Iron Spirit, I see you're saying, so you use Minecraft already, so that's awesome. So that's super cool. So if you want to like pop in chat and kind of talk about how you use it in the classroom, that'd be cool for, I think, our viewers, just to kind of see from a student lens how you enjoy using it, what you get to do with it, and so on and so forth. So I've given you a very basic example of Minecraft, right? I don't think they like using the example that it's like digital Lego, but I always like using that example because the only limitation in my perspective of Lego in terms of creativity and what you can build is materials. So, if we're looking at Minecraft, where you have unlimited materials, unlimited build potential, then the sky's the limit. You could do lessons or activities that relate to any subject. And we've got I guess I'll call you if that's okay, joining. So we're taking a very basic look at Minecraft Education Edition, because what we're going to be doing is, as we explore Minecraft on this stream, we're going to be taking a look at eventually how it can be used in esports in school. So the first thing I want to showcase is, okay, so you're brand new to Minecraft. You get that it's open-ended. You get that you can build whatever you want and whatever. But you might not feel comfortable with how to play the game. So for you, what you'd want to do is, if you go into the View Library area, we've got some different things that we can explore here. And I always recommend just taking the time to look through it all, because you might find some really cool things. Like here, you find different biomes that you can just open up and explore. But to backtrack a little, there's this really important section called How to Play. So if we give that a click, you've got the Start Here option. So there's keyboard, there's touch, there's additional tutorials, but I wouldn't really worry about those until you feel a little more comfortable with the game. So let's go to Start Here keyboard, just because that's what I'm currently using, is mouse and keyboard. So you'll see here that it gives us some options for us to work through, and it just starts with the basics. So we've got movement. So if I click movement, we've got a couple things here. It'll, if we want to read more, it'll tell us what this tutorial will cover. We can watch a video, and the video will kind of tell us a bit about what this tutorial is about and what we'll be doing. You can assign or share. So for all of my educators in the audience, one of the really cool things about Minecraft Education Edition is that you don't necessarily need to build the content. So with all of these pre-made worlds that I'm about to showcase, you can assign it to your students either through Teams, email, Google Classroom. You can just copy and paste a link to them, and it'll link them to the world. So there are some easy sharing options, just so that you can share it with your class and everyone can hop in as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click Create World, and what'll happen is it'll take a second, and then boom, it makes the world for you. So, when I initially opened, oh, I don't like that it's kind of glimmering at me. There we go. So when I first opened like Minecraft and I made a new world, right? I was just in a flat world it was just blocks of grass. There were some animals. But if we look around now, we can see there's like this fully pre-built area. There's like roads, there's buildings. So this is all pre-made, and all I had to do was load into it to start, kind of learning about what to do. So there's a sign here, and so what I can do is it's just asking me to point my cursor. So the cursor is how we look around. So I just need to point my cursor at the gold block, right? So there we go, and it kind of throws us a trick one here, puts one behind us, and there we go. So we're just kind of learning the basics, right? Where I'm using my mouse, I'm looking around, and then it shows us that we press W to walk forward, A and D to move left and right. So if you think about the controls, so we've got W, A, S, and D. They mimic the directions of your arrow keys. So W is up, A is left, S is back or down, and D is right. So right now we're gonna use those keys to maneuver our way through. And I'm sorry for any of our Minecraft experts that are in the chat that I'm sure are just having a heyday because this is super simple. But of course, for anyone that's new to the game, we need to remember that you got to start somewhere, right? Some of us that are brand new to either video gaming or brand new to Minecraft, we might need to take this time to learn. So what it's telling us to do now is to use our mouse to look around, to turn around. So I'm learning that I can combine W, A, S, and D, so I can move around while also moving my mouse to look around. So there we go. So with that knowledge, I can just kind of navigate my way through the maze pretty easily. And then so now the hint's telling us that we want to press W with the spacebar to jump forward. So spacebar on its own is jump. And then when we combine it with the forward key, the W, we're jumping, we're up over the ledge. Perfect. And we'll do that again. Now, something that's important is that if we go into settings, there are some really helpful options that are in the settings. So if we go to keyboard and mouse, for example, because that's what we're using, something that I might want to toggle on is this auto jump feature. So say, for example, if I'm a player or if I'm a teacher with a student that may have limited mobility, and it might be difficult for me to press the spacebar key with the WASD keys. The way that auto jump works is that as you approach a ledge, it'll automatically jump for you. The other thing too is, honestly, it just makes it easier to get up over the ledge. You don't have to worry about pressing the spacebar. So it's kind of just helpful to have in general. But with that being said, I'm very used to pressing the spacebar. So I'm going to continue doing that. I just wanted to showcase that it was there. So we're going to continue working through. We're going to take advantage of that spacebar and jump through these very many ledges. And then we'll continue to exit the park. And boom. So there we are. So lesson complete. And then it tells us you can use Control W to sprint. So you can press the Control key as you're pressing W and you'll sprint. You can just double click a key quickly, and that'll also help you sprint. Yeah, there we go. So we've got and in the chat with the hints. You beat me to it. So yeah, so you can double click the W, and then that also works as a sprint. And similarly, when you're in creative mode, if I were to, so right now I am in creative mode. I believe, no, I'm not. So let's see if I can swap this over real quick. So that's why. So I've just got my personal game mode, and there we go. So now we're in creative. So whenever you're in what's called creative mode, if you press jump twice really quickly, you can also fly. So that's something that we're going to explore next. Is I'm going to save and exit, and we're going to kind of check out the different game modes, because those can be kind of important, whether you're using it for education or whether you're using it for esports or even just for your own knowledge if you're playing through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to view worlds, and I'm just going to create a brand new one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose, as I get started, I'm going to choose the default game mode as survival, and then we can kind of showcase the differences between the different game modes. So I'm going to change the difficulty to normal. I'm not going to worry about adding any of the starting stuff or items. And then there's some world options that I can adjust here. If this was like a world that I wanted to share with other people, I might adjust things like turn off friendly fire if I don't want people that are joining to attack each other or anything. So I'll leave friendly fire on just because no one's able to join anyway. I want to show coordinates just because it makes it easier for navigating the world. And we'll leave all this other stuff on as well. There's also what are called cheats that are down here that you can adjust just to, it's pretty much just for how you want to experience the world or how you want others to experience the world. So for example, if I'm making a world that others will be exploring and I have it on a regular kind of day night cycle, what I might find is that as the daytime shifts to the nighttime, myself or all the students are getting lost because it's dark out, and they might not know to use like torches or different sources of light. So to make it easier to see and play through, I might just toggle on always day. And then there are some other things here, so like mob spawning. So mobs are like the animals and the creatures in the game, so I'm going to keep all that. The weather cycle you can turn off. Say, for example, if you don't want to have like lightning storms, because sometimes you might be playing around with like TNT or something flammable, and a lightning storm comes around and sets it off or ignites it. So you might want to turn that off or on. So I'll turn that off, and then I'm just going to hop in. So we're going to work into our survival world, and we are going to take a look at the differences between the game modes. So let me just kind of get my bearings real quick. And so you'll notice that along the bottom there, so this is kind of the standard UI or user interface. So I've got my inventory, which are the squares that I'm kind of just sifting through right now. You'll see the highlighted square working its way through. I've got some hearts and I've got some meat slots. So we'll see here that there are certain things. Oh, spiky bush maybe. So in survival mode, you're trying to stay alive, and among other things. So like you might be wanting to set up a camp. Oh, and you said, wait, you forgot the random tick speed. You're right, I did. I'm sorry about that. I'm not going to worry about it now just because we want to make sure that we get through the different game modes in our time today because we only have an hour. But good call on the tick speed. You can maybe remind me and in chat because I think you can adjust tick speed. Should I adjust the random tick speed to anything in particular? You let me know in chat. I'll adjust it whenever you're ready. Okay, so in survival mode. Oh yes. Okay. Let me know what to swap it to. I'll wait to hear back from you. Okay, so in survival mode, it can be in like an actual kind of biome like this where there's like forest or there's snow or there's deserts or anything like that. Or you could also play survival mode on like a flat world or in any of the pre-made worlds. You can honestly just swap through the different game modes by going into the settings and adjusting survival to creative or adventure. And it's important to note that there's a couple different options here. So the default game mode is for anyone that hops into your world when you share it with them. This is the default game mode they'll be entering. So they won't be able to adjust it. If I want the world that I build to be a survival world, I'm going to make the default game mode survival. But if, say, for example, as I'm building out my survival world, I need creative because I need access to some of the features that comes with that, I might change my personal game mode. So you can play survival in any type of world. It doesn't matter. It's more so the parameters or the rules that you're playing with. So in survival mode, what happens is that I can lose health. So if I happen to, at nighttime, come across some enemies, or I can even show you right now, if I were to go underwater, you'll see that I've got breath, right? You see the bubbles that are popping as I wade underwater. So it's possible to take damage from enemies. It's possible, like, you have a certain amount of air that you can breathe, or a certain amount of time that you can hold your breath for underwater. And you'll notice that now that I, ran out of breath, that I started to lose health. So that's the thing, is in survival, you take damage. There are enemies that can, break what you build. And survival is kind of where Minecraft started out, right? Is kind of as like a survival game. So what I would need to do, for example, is like I might need to break down some materials, right? Got some wood. You can make like a crafting table, and from a crafting table, you can make different tools, and with those tools, you can build yourself a home and build yourself shelter, and then you can start building out farms and stuff like that. So yes, all around kind of more of a survival game, right? So I do that, and then I can make a crafting table, and then I can place my crafting table down, and then I can start to build different things. And the nice thing is that in your inventory here, it'll show you, based on what you have in your inventory, things that you can work towards building. So at the moment, the only thing that I have the materials to build are the birchwood planks. So I can make more of those if I wanted to. And then from that, you can make... Oh, I don't think you can make... You can't make tools yet, can you? You can make sticks. There we go. And I apologize to anyone, again, if you're super familiar with Minecraft. It has been a while since I've gone through survival mode. So we're kind of relearning this together. Okay, so... Oh, I see a temple showcase. You see a temple. Okay, yeah, we can definitely check out a temple as I'm explaining. The only thing is that I'm not sure where the temple was. So I'll see if I can kind of locate it as I'm talking about the different game modes. Otherwise, we might have to move on. I'm so sorry, Ed. If you can tell me kind of what direction it's in, like if it right, okay, I'll see if I can follow your instructions. Into the sea we go. Okay. Am I continuing this? Oh, into the sea. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is just a river. Forgetting my bodies of water. Okay. So let's see. You see a temple in the sea? Okay. You're gonna have to guide me. I'm trying my best here, buddy. This isn't Still River. Look in front. I think that looks like a face. I cannot see it. I cannot see it. I'm sorry. I'm probably making you so... Oh, like over there? Over that way? In the desert. Okay. I thought it was a lot closer than I thought it was. Okay. So I'll tell you what. So let me finish explaining survival, and then this will be a good way for me to showcase the difference between survival and creative. Okay. I appreciate your patience there. I was like looking around. I thought it was like closer to this way. It's over that way. That's what you're talking about. Okay. So just to quickly finish up with survival mode. So yeah, so you have to create everything. You have to create all the resources that you would use. So from a creativity standpoint, or like as an educator, if I want to, lay out some work for my students, survival isn't always the best option, because you'd essentially be spending a bunch of time to make the materials and resources that you would need to actually build what you need to work. work on. Untamed Games. I'm so sorry. I'd love for you to join. But I'm in Minecraft Education Edition. So because I'm using a different tenant, they're only people that I work with would be able to join the stream. So I'm really sorry about that. We can maybe in the future figure out kind of a cool thing where we can do some build challenges and tournaments where we can get people to join in. So maybe keep an ear out for that. But unfortunately, at the moment, only people that I work with would be able to join the game. So, okay, so I think we covered survival mode. You have to make all your materials. You need to eat to survive. You can take damage. It's a fun way to play the game. It's a fun way to play Minecraft. And a lot of the times when people play Minecraft, they're playing survival mode. But there is also creative mode. So we're going to quickly go into our settings. We're going to swap over to creative. I'm just going to adjust it in both these windows just to be super certain that it swaps over. And you'll notice that my health is gone now and my stamina, like the little kind of meat legs, are gone now. And that's because you are invincible in creative mode. So creative mode, as the name implies, is pretty much meant to make it so that you can do. So Untamed Games. So you're saying everyone knows how to play Minecraft. So that's the thing is, so this stream is focused on helping teachers and educators learn how to play Minecraft so that they can bring Minecraft to the classroom. So I know, because you're right, there's so many people that play Minecraft and know Minecraft. I don't doubt it. In fact, I bet you a bunch of you that are in chat probably know how to play Minecraft better than I do. But the reason that we're the reason that we're doing this right now is to teach teachers and people that might not be familiar with Minecraft so that they can bring it to the classroom. And then, that way, if they bring Minecraft to the classroom, you can show everyone how good you are at Minecraft. So you're all good, right? So the gameplay isn't going to be perfect. It's going to be super basic, super simple. I know I'm talking, a lot of familiar stuff to you. But for some of our other viewers, this might be brand new to them. So just try to help out. If there's anything I'm doing that you think you could add in some tips or some tricks or whatever, feel free to toss that in the chat. So the other thing with creative mode, so a couple things. You can see that, as I mentioned before, when you're in creative mode, you can fly. So I wasn't able to fly in survival mode because typically in real life, which survival mode kind of mimics, you can't fly. But we'll see that with creative mode, it's a lot easier for me to move around and check out the space. So as promised to And, I'm going to work my way over to the temple. Temple. Yeah, there we go. All right, so just going to fly in and drop, boom. And then the other thing before I go into the temple that I'll showcase is that when we're in creative mode, we have access to every material in the game, right? So if I needed, say for example, if I needed armor to go into this temple, I'll grab some armor. Let's do that. Let's grab some leggings and then some boots. Get all tricked out. And then let's see, I'll get myself a sword just to be careful. Okay. So yeah, you do have access to all materials. This is really helpful from both a creativity and from like a, if we're doing like some activities or some, school-based work, it'll be super helpful for students to have access to everything in game so that they can be as creative as they want. Okay, so let's go into the temple real quick. Let's check things out. Might have to do some digging. So I'll grab a shovel real quick. Okay, so let's do some digging. What do we got? All right. So we found a temple. We got some. Oh, it was a trap. It was a trap. Well, thank goodness we were. Thank goodness we were in creative mode, because if this was survival mode, I probably would have just died there. So I'm going to get rid of that. Let's get a pickaxe, And we can see here there's some netherite I can mine. Except I don't have the right equipment, do I? Oh, I just realized why it's not. Yeah, you're right. It is coal. Sorry, thank you. You're right. Thanks, Untamed Gamer. I forgot. So because we're in creative mode, this is the thing, is that as I mine, it doesn't give you any materials. So that doesn't do us any good. So I'm going to fly my way back up. Are the chests still here? Did they? No, they're gone. The other thing too, so you'll see that if I get rid of my tool here, as I'm in creative mode, I can insta-break blocks. So it doesn't matter what the block is, because that's the thing, is if you're in survival mode, there's a sense of realism, right? So if I were to punch or try to mine, say, like sand, yeah, it would break fairly quickly. If I were to, however, go up to a rock in survival mode, right? I'll show you. I'll swap back to survival mode. We'll see here, it takes some time, right? And it's actually pretty generous, because if this were real life and I was just there punching a rock, probably wouldn't be as generous with how well it disintegrates. So that's the thing, is when we're in creative mode, it's a one-tap break for everything. And it can be frustrating sometimes, because sometimes if you're building something and you accidentally just tap it once and it breaks, you might destroy like a full kind of chunk out of something you're working on by accident. But it's also super helpful, because if I wanted to say, build something out in this area, rather than needing to worry about, having tools and taking the time to break it all down, I can just do this. There are also some kind of neat tricks you can do with like slash commands. So I can show that off super quickly, but we're not going to spend too much time on them. Let's do that. And then let's say go down here. Let's just do with air. So there's also kind of some cool like slash commands and stuff that you can get to once you're more familiar with Minecraft. Where like if you wanted to clear a space, you could just fill a space with air. And then now I have kind of this cool flat area that I could say start building a base or a project or something like that. Okay, so next thing, adventure mode. Adventure mode, I'm going to go through super quickly because it's super simple. Adventure mode is you're pretty much invincible. It's kind of similar to creative mode, but it's that you can't break or place or anything. You would build out a world in adventure mode if you wanted it to be more of like a story. So if you wanted it to be something that like players are experiencing, they talk to like NPCs or non-player characters. Because you can see right here, like I can't build anything, and I'm pretty sure if I were to, yeah, I can't place as well, right? So it's kind of like a story mode version for Minecraft. So I'm going to save and exit. We talked about, and yeah, I'm fairly certain you don't take damage. I might be wrong, but I'm fairly certain you don't take damage when you're in adventure mode. I think the reason it gives you like the health and all that is because it's kind of like a filter to survival mode. So it makes it so that like you can't fly or anything else. I might be wrong. You might be able to take damage, but I'm pretty sure any of the adventure worlds that I've played through, I don't think I've ever taken damage. Okay, so I just want to do a brief recap of survival mode, creative mode, adventure mode, and then we're going to move on to some of the pre-made worlds to check out. So survival mode, just kind of think of it as like real life survival. You are limited with your resources. You have to forage and you have to dig and you have to mine for all your materials. You can take damage, and when you're mining and doing all that stuff, it kind of has that real world application where you need tools to break things down. Otherwise, like if you try to punch a boulder or if you try to punch iron with your fist, you're not really going to get anywhere. So that's survival. Creative is pretty much completely limitless. So you have access to all resources, all materials. You don't take damage. You're invincible, and you can fly. That's what you want to use for a lot of the time when you're using it in the classroom, when you're building, when you're I don't know, when you're exploring, any of that. And then adventure mode is like story mode. So the next thing we're going to check out is more of the library. So earlier when we explored this library area, and I went to how to play, right? So this is where you go to check out some of the different tutorials. It teaches you how to play the game. So you've got movement, you've got place and break, interact, camera and portfolio, chalkboards, and NPCs. So I just recommend going through those whenever you have a chance to. They're very straightforward, and it's a good way just to familiarize yourself with the game. Now, there's also a bunch of stuff here. So, say for example, if we go into subject kits, this is kind of where a bunch of the cool stuff happens, because we can see here that based on the subject that we're learning about, we have all of these different options we can choose from. So, one of the examples for adventure mode is the Mindful Night. So, I'll actually load into this one real quick. This also relates to esports. So at the start of stream, we were talking about, the reason we're doing these streams is to teach people how to use Minecraft in the classroom, and it's also so you can use Minecraft in like an esports setting in the classroom as well. So the Mindful Night is a cool activity for this because it teaches you strategies to be mindful and to regulate your emotions. And I'm not sure who's in chat today, but I don't know if you'll believe me or not, but actually emotional regulation is super important for doing well in competitive video games. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create the world. We'll go through it a bit. So I'll kind of show you what these pre-made worlds look like, and we'll kind of talk a bit about the emotional regulation bit as well. So as I enter the classroom, or sorry, not the classroom, the castle, there's a wizard I can talk to here. He gives me some instructions, and the cool thing is that there might be a lot of text here, so I might choose to open up what's called Immersive Reader. And Immersive Reader is this super cool tool, and I just realized it's not going to let me open it on stream because it's kind of a separate thing from Minecraft. So that's interesting. So, but what it does is it's a tool that allows you to read out all of the text. You can change like the size of the font for the text. You can change a bunch of stuff. You can change the text to different languages. So if you're English second language, for example, you can hop into Immersive Reader, and one of the options it gives you is to swap to, like, you can change it to a bunch of different languages. I think there's like more than 70. I am streaming from Ontario, Canada, so French is our second language. So, if I've got a French immersion class, I might say, hey, we can swap this all the text and all the words into French. So it's kind of cool. So we talk to the wizard, and he tells us that today's the big day, and we need to go talk to the princess. So we go talk to the queen. Sorry. So she tells us about the knight's trial, and that to become a knight, we'll need to find the four armor relics. This quest will not be simple or easy. We need to master crucial mindfulness skills to succeed, and we'll take these tools with you. So she gives us a mystical camera and a book and quill, and we'll see that I now have those in my inventory. So the camera and the book and quill are actually tools that are exclusive to Minecraft Education Edition. And the reason for them is so that as I'm working through my level, if I'm working on something, I might want to take pictures, and either you as a teacher, you might ask your students to, submit their work or submit some of the things that they came across while exploring the world. Or as a student, you might take some pictures, and you might want to share them either with your teacher or with your friends to say like, hey, this happened on my journey. It was really funny. And we'll see that if I open my quest journal, it tells me a bit about the world. But something I might do is I might just add in real quick one of my pictures. I might say, oh, still in all caps, starting my journey. Okay. So we'll exit out for now. Talk to the knight. He gives us some advice. So we want to be mindful. And mindfulness is the skill of being aware of the present moment without judging it. Now head off to the woods to find our first challenge. So again, so this is kind of a showcase of adventure mode. So we'll see here, I can't really adjust anything that's in the world. I can't break it. If I try to go to my inventory, I don't have any materials that I can equip or place. I just have what's been given to me. So as we work our way through this, we come across people and they give us advice about how mindfulness and relaxation can kind of help you out. The book is in regular. Oh, okay. So the book is in regular Minecraft. The camera's exclusive. So like you said. So yeah, there are books in regular Minecraft. But yeah, so the book and quill are kind of they're special specific to Minecraft. And I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna take a second to let my puppy out because he's barking. So sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, so the cool thing about the book and quill in Minecraft Education Edition is that you can write in it, you can add pictures, you can add captions to your pictures. So I can say like the wizard. Cool. And I think there's, let's see. Yeah, you can just, okay, so that's pretty much it. Okay. So the reason I want to showcase this world just a little bit is we'll see that with the challenges, we're gonna learn about some things. So this is challenge number 1, Journey to the Tower of Focus. So the wizard tells us that if we want to know a secret of performing magic, it's attention. So I can't perform spells if I'm distracted, just as knights can't protect the kingdom if they're distracted. Naturally, our minds jump from thought to thought without us noticing. Follow me to the Tower of Focus for your first challenge. So before we get started with this, let's think about focus and breathing in like a competitive environment, right? So I don't know if any of you in chat, if you play Minecraft competitively, if you play Rocket League, League of Legends. I play a lot of League of Legends myself. I play some Halo. The new Halo multiplayer just came out, so I've been playing some of that. There are so many competitive games, and we don't always think about it, but if we're not focused on the game, if we're distracted by things around us, or if we're not fully intent on playing the game, then we get distracted and we don't play as well. So in this tower, we learn the quote unquote cast spell, and it's a spell of levitation. And what it teaches us is that if we just take the time to breathe in and breathe out and focus, what we can accomplish. So I'm going to be quiet for a second. We'll breathe in and out. All right, and we're reaching the top of the tower. We're hopefully feeling a little relaxed. And what's this? We get a very fancy looking helmet. We've got Princess Brethany, who congratulates us on being able to practice our breathing and use the spell of levitation to get to the top of the tower. And then there's a reflection piece. So as we reflect, there's a couple things we can touch on, right? So, and I should have taken a picture. So challenge 1. So I'm going to put in, I like that the breathing exercise helped me focus. And then if I wanted to apply this to, say for example, if I'm playing games online, again, Fortnite, League of Legends, anything like that. Let's say I'm getting upset, I'm getting tilted. There's either someone I'm playing with, or like griefing, or there's someone else that's like in the lobby and they're really good, and it kind of tilts me and I'm upset. So what can I do to get myself out of that mindset? Well, I can take a second, I can breathe, I can recenter myself. And I know it seems silly to sometimes people aren't believers in things like yoga or meditation, but honestly, those kinds of activities and exercises can really help you improve with competitive games. So I'm going to put in, I'm going to try a breathing exercise next time I'm upset while playing games. Okay, so leave that for now. We've reflected. We can press the button and it takes us out. I'm not going to take us through this entire activity. I definitely recommend checking it out because it's really cool. There's some other different activities that you can try. Just again, it's good for your health in general. It's also good for like esports performance. And there we go. I'm just going to save and exit. Okay. So I think the last thing that we will check out before calling today a day, we've gone through quite a bit. Maybe not for our Minecraft experts, but for anyone that's new that's joining us today, really appreciate you sticking with us and giving this a try. So we've covered a lot today. So we've covered the basics of Minecraft, right? We've hopped in, we've taken a look at Minecraft at its basics. So it's very open-ended. You can build, you can tear down. There's a ton of materials you can use if, say, you're in creative mode. We checked out the different game modes. So you had survival, creative, and adventure. Showed off an example of one of the pre-made worlds in the library. So there's social emotional learning, but there's also a bunch of different other subjects that you can check out as well. Something that's really cool. I'm gonna flex really quickly, but I've actually created the financial literacy world that's in the math additional lessons. So it's kind of a cool world you can go in and build and whatnot. But so there are all these different subjects that you can check out, and you'll also see here at the bottom. And yes, I did. I built that world. It was really cool. It was like a 2-month process. I got to work with the Minecraft team, and they were really amazing to work with. But I got to work with them to build out a world that kind of helps teach you about spending money. So if you have Minecraft Education Edition and you have the pre-made worlds, you can check it out in the additional lessons. And if you want to give feedback next time we're on stream with Minecraft, would love to hear what you think. So the last thing we're going to check out before we call it a day. Hey, Laser Blazer, thanks for hopping in. We're just reaching kind of the end of our stream today. We're just kind of doing these hour streams every week. But the last thing we're going to be checking out is the esports challenges and arenas that are in Minecraft Education Edition. So this will be something that we'll be exploring more in depth with the weeks to come, but I just want to show off some of the options that are available to you here because they're really cool. So we'll see here that if we go into the make and model series, there are all of these really cool looking built out worlds that you can join in, and you can challenge other students to build challenges. We've also got John the Jabster. Welcome in. So I apologize. We're working towards the end of our stream. We're just going to be checking out some of the esports arenas real quick. So I'm going to go into the Splat Racers. Okay, and again, I just go and I click on the world, and then I can create world, and it builds it out for me. So it imports it and it opens it up. So as a teacher, right? As a teacher, I can open up this world, the make and model Splat Racers, and I can host the world. So I could start hosting here, right? And then for all of my students, I could give them this join code to join, and then there could be a group of us that are in this world all at the same time. So what we could then do is that we can see there's this super cool looking world. You barely you barely even use it. Oh, sorry, I walked into one of the borders there. So you barely even use it. It just looks really cool because the people that made it are amazing Minecraft builders. Like, look at how cool this is. You have the rainbow winged butterfly. You got some super cool mushrooms and fish and flowers. So super cool stuff. I'm going to drop down, and the main areas that we use in these worlds, in these kind of esports arenas, are the build areas. So we see here that there's a green side, there's a yellow side. And so if I'm a teacher and all my students have joined the world, what I'm going to do is I would ask, say you have one team and it's a team of 5 people, they're going to be on the yellow team. And so what they do is they would stand on the yellow concrete here, and then they would wait. And then everyone that would be playing on the green team chills here and they wait. And then what I can do is, as the moderator or as the judge, is I could set a time limit. So let's say we'll do the timer as 1 minute, just so I can show you an example of the end game. And then, so what would happen is everyone that is on the colored space here, the colored concrete, when I start the game, it teleports you into the build arena. So only teammates that are on the colored space when I start the game will be allowed in that area. And you'll see that if I try to run or fly into the space, it teleports me outside. So the cool thing about that is that if, you don't have to worry about anyone interfering with your group or what you're building on. You just have a specified amount of time where, say for example, the challenge might be to build your best race car, or to build like a redstone base machine. So like a machine that uses like circuitry and stuff like that. So we can see here that time's just about to run out. And there are also these additional zones here behind the build area. So I can step onto these and I can wait. And we'll see here that when I'm on this kind of green zone, see here if I kind of swap back and forth, it adjusts the scoreboard that's here. So on top of having the teams that are in here competing, you can also have the rest of the class or some other friends or whatever that are spectating, and they got to watch the experience and they get to take a look. They're like, I really like that they chose a bunch of different colors for their race car on this side, or for the other one, I really liked how complex or complicated their redstone machine was. So like for the race car, for example, you might even include something where it has like moving pistons to simulate like the engine, right? So, based on creativity, based on how much you like it, you can choose what team you vote for. And then a neat trick as well is that armor stand. So the other cool thing is that, say, you're like, if you're a teacher, if you're projecting this game, right? So if you're projecting the battle or the tournament up for other people to watch, you can share your screen, and then you can kind of collect tabs for how many people like one team over the other. And I don't know why, if they adjusted it. It used to be that you could place armor stands on it to count as votes, but they may have changed the world, so I may have just been telling you about this for nothing. Unless it might be, oh, there we go. So if I enter World Builder, that's one thing I can do. So say in, the class or whoever I'm streaming it to, they counted, say, 7 people that voted for green, and then, real quick, only 3 people for yellow. The voting ends. Green team has a higher score. And then what happens is, just as a celebration, everyone in the world gets to fly around and they've got the green colored fireworks. So it's just kind of like a cool mini celebration. And so you can do this as many times as you need. You can, well, that wasn't good. I went into World Builder and then I destroyed a button, so I need to get myself another button to fix that. Okay. And I need to go into World Builder to fix it. There we go. Okay. So there we go. So games reset. The builds weren't deleted. But what you can do is when you're actually in the arena, there's a little button there where you can clear your build. So you can do this as many times as you want in like a tournament format. So for example, if you're doing this with your class and you have teams of 5, so say there's 30 students in your class, then you have the option to set up a bracket tournament. You can have one team of 5 against another, and then the next one and the next one, and you keep doing that, and then you work your way up to a championship. So we'll explore more of the esports featured worlds in the future. We'll also go more in depth with learning about Minecraft as well, because again, it was very, very high level today. We didn't go too in depth about anything. There are a bunch of other tools that are in Minecraft Education Edition that we'll be showcasing next stream. So we'll be talking about all of the tools that are specific to Minecraft Education Edition. So there's, for example, things like allow and deny blocks. So they are things that you can set up to allow students to build in certain areas or not build in certain areas. There are things like borders, which you can set up to create a border that students can't move through to kind of keep them contained to an area. And for all of our students that are in chat today, these are also kind of cool for you to learn about as well, because knowing Minecraft, you might want to make worlds of your own, right? So knowing about all of these kind of cool, unique tools, you can use them in really creative ways as you're building out worlds. You can get different effects, or you can make sure that if you're trying to build out like a story or an experience and you want people to go a specific way, you might use like those border blocks. You can also use like non-player characters, those are what are used in this world, and you can customize them to say different things. So we'll take a look at all of those next stream. I know an hour is kind of short, but I appreciate everyone for hopping in, saying hi and checking things out. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask away. I'll hang around just for a second and we can explore those questions together. But aside from that, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. We should be back onto Minecraft, I think, in 3 weeks. We're kind of rotating on a 3-week basis. So we'll be checking out League of Legends next Thursday. And if there aren't any questions, then I'll just hop off for the night. All right. And see ya. Thanks for popping by. Thanks for chatting with us. Definitely appreciate it. We'll maybe see you next time. Just gonna build some blocks. We'll see if anyone has questions. If not, no problem. We're gonna have our VOD, which we'll make sure is available in case you want to review anything. Actually, what I can do, I'll just do some fun things real quick. Let's do. We gotta go end the stream in a bang. So let's do this. That to, let's say to, we want to make it pretty big. So to here. All right, everyone. I don't think we're getting any questions. So let's end the stream off with a bang. And we'll see. Hopefully I don't break my computer while I'm doing it. Holy moly. So I just figured I'd end the stream with a big TNT explosion. And the fun thing about this is that because of the render distance that I have set up on my computer, the further that I kind of fly outwards, you'll see that the TNT catches up. So it made a giant crater. So anyways, hopefully that was a fun way for us to end off the stream. I have a barking puppy, so I'm going to go make sure that he's okay. Really appreciate you all stopping by, saying hi. Have a great rest of your day and a great night. Take care, everyone.